We're probably going to see a lot of Patron Warrior, but how do you prepare for it? It's the best deck in the format. You still have to beat it, even if you're prepared for it.
We're going to find out how he's prepared for it, because game number 1 is getting underway right now. The first match of the Step 1 playoff to the playoffs is getting underway right now. We're going to find out if Kaldi can get some revenge here on RDU, because, again, historically, RDU is 2-1 versus Kaldi.
Playoffs?
I just hope we win a game.
All right,
RDU got a little bit of a stash going here.
Yeah, I like it. But as we said, you could kind of expect this from RDU this whole season here, especially towards the end. He's been playing a lot of Warrior.
You know, here's something that's really interesting.
I want to cut you off real quick. Do you notice what board they're playing on there?
Yeah, that's the new Argent tournament board.
So, yeah. Blizzard decided to give us this for today. I'm joking, but this is the grand tournament, guys.
This is sort of like, this is a really deep read, but bear with me here.
Yeah,
RDU's the kind of guy who, every time that I've been with him at an event, he likes to stay pretty darn clean cut the entire time. The fact that he has got this extra facial hair shows that he hasn't been like shaving a ton lately. This guy has to have just been grinding Hearthstone constantly.
Oh, you think he's just been preparing over and over and over again for these matches?
Well, think about how big this match is. Like, these next 3 matches are potentially yield not hit only a championship, but an extra $20,000.
Yeah, I mean, you could kind of say these matches are worth the chance at $20,000. You know, you had 10 weeks leading up to this, but now you have 2 days.
Yes.
So instead of 10 weeks now, it's all condensed into a 2-day mini grand tournament, if you want to call it that. You know, as poetic as it is in this spot. Yeah, foreshadowing. But production value.
Yeah. Kaldi gonna unstable portal here, and with 2/7 drops in his hand. I'm not sure exactly how comfortable he feels, but Master of Disguise, pretty darn good pickup here. You know, you look at this card and you're like, sure, it's just a 4/4, but a 4/4 facing a Fiery War Axe when your opponent's only got 4 cards in their hand, that's not too shabby.
Now, this is a deck we haven't seen a lot from Kaldi here this season. What do you think is going through his mind? Like, why is he playing this here?
Well, I think that's exactly why he's playing it, is because he hasn't played a lot this season. You know, RDU, clearly the kind of guy who's going to prepare really hard for this match. And again, the weight that these hold is so much more than usual.
Do you think there's a chance? I know it's not going to be this deck because we've already seen quite a bit of it, but do you think there's a chance that, you know, Kaldi went back and watched Purple's match against RDU? And do you think there was ever a chance he was going to play the Purple deck against RDU?
There definitely is a chance of that. Salty Dog gets picked up. But
I heard you like salt, bro.
I don't think that's like where his mind is actually at. I'm curious, is there ever a situation where he's supposed to coin this Master of Disguise, or is the 2/7 drops in his hand just completely crush this idea?
I think he's going to hold on to the coin here for be able to go Antonidas coin Master of Disguise. That is a very strong play. Yeah. If you ever get to do that, you're not super far behind. And putting a 7/4 into play, it makes RDU have to react to it. Like, he has to make this kind of play here. I mean, you're going to get the 7 damage in most likely, so I like this play from Kaldi.
Wow, even going to eat the 7 instead of executing. That's actually really interesting to me. You know, this is a deck where I don't know how aggressive Kaldi's trying to be from RDU's perspective, but you know, taking 7 is a lot.
Yeah, that's why I loved the play from Kaldi here. You know, and you know, I don't mind this play from RDU because if anything, it kind of signals that he doesn't have an execute in his hand, because, you know, why would he take 7 there? If there's any advantage to him to, you know, bluffing here or concealing his hand, he's got a huge advantage now because there's no way Kaldi puts him on having an execute. And then the way Kaldi played it, he still got the 7 in, but he ends up using the Master of Disguise here just to get, you know, some more threats on board, since now he's being threatened by a large Frothing Berserker. He has to get something done.
Yeah, and so looking at this spot, you know, RDU obviously in a pretty darn good situation, but I feel like if he was 7 points higher, this Frothing Berserker would be able to be pointed upstairs right now.
Yeah, and you don't think he goes upstairs? You think he just trades?
No, I think he's got to trade. I mean, this is, you know, again, he's at 19 and he's facing a mage deck. Yeah. Like, you take 7 points of damage, suddenly you're in lethal range.
Yeah, I love the way Kaldi's played this game so far.
Pretty darn good. That emergency coolant's pretty important as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one with Archmage.
This is going to be a matter of whether or not he can actually put enough pressure on RDU, because RDU's hand is stacked right now.
Yeah, and speaking of pressure, I think he's going to be able to do a pretty good job here as long as he doesn't start to, you know, have the game slip away over the next turn, because he gets to go Dr. Broom on 7 next turn, and then the turn after that he gets to go Archmage into coin into emergency coolant.
Yeah.
These are pretty good turns.
Yeah, no question about it. 2 Armor Smiths, though, maybe going to be able to buy RDU enough time. But again, this is a matter of whether or not this Dr. Boom is a little bit too much at this point. Again, RDU is dropping to 12 this turn, and he's actually just going to Archmage right now and put all that pressure on RDU immediately. Wow, I actually really like this play. This forces RDU to be able to deal with the Archmage next turn.
No, I like this play as well. I mean, RDU is already at 16, and you're going to push for 4 more this turn. I love this play. He's actually threatening lethal here.
Yeah, RDU has to get something done. If he doesn't draw a Whirlwind or Slam, you know, this he would have been almost completely out of this. Like, I mean, sure, could have gained some armor with the War Song and the Grim Patron, but...
He's still in a really rough spot from here, though.
Yeah, something's got to give.
By the way, I love this new board. The character in the bottom right here, the target dummy looking thing, it actually gets affected by what you're playing in the game. You don't have to click on it. Like when something happens that moves around the entire board, it moves back and forth.
I love that that's your focus
right
now.
When
we have like this super intense match going on between these two guys. Oh,
there's a match going on?
Yeah, there's a match going on right now. RDU going to do as much as he can to protect his life total. He's at 18 right now, but you know, 2 fireballs in Kaldi's hand, and he's able to add Dr. Boom and a Mana Worm behind this. You know, I look at this situation and I go, can RDU recover if Kaldi uses his cards right?
I don't think there's a chance that RDU can recover from here. What does he need to actually win from this spot? I mean, he can't. He
needs the Grim Patrons to go ham. Is right.
Yeah.
He needs right now. Like, because he can again, if these Armor Smiths, if RDU didn't, I'm sorry, if Kaldi did not trade with that Armor Smith, RDU was going to gain so much extra health.
Yeah, you know, you see Kaldi understanding the matchup just pretty well here because he's going to gain a ton of life here. RDU is, but Kaldi has a gigantic board position with multiple fireballs, so it just matters where these boom bots go.
Yeah, still able to recover here too. I mean, he's not completely out of this just yet. You know, say one of these boom bots, you know, touches a Grim Patron and doesn't actually kill it.
Yeah, if it does one. If any of them go to the, well, I mean, RDU actually, now that I think about it, I didn't know he was going to gain this much armor. Right.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot. Yeah, run that Cruel Taskmaster in first. That guy's got to bite the dust.
Yeah, I need to make room, get a little extra armor here.
He needs to hit one of these Grim Patrons and not kill it. So not the case today. The rest of this got to go upstairs. So now, I mean, this board position now looks daunting. I mean, RDU's up to 29 again, and you have 12, 19 points of damage.
Yeah, we've seen some decks like this. These combo mage like aggressive decks sometimes run Flame Strike, but there's nothing like that here in Kaldi's hand.
Yeah.
Sometimes they run a one of, you know, it's like a tempo play. But what does Kaldi have to do to win from here?
That's a darn good question. He's got to have probably a miracle take place. You know, again, RDU just the Armor Smith pulled him so far out of reach with this Grim Patron combo that I don't see a way that Kaldi finishes this game. You know, he had that small window of opportunity to really get something done, and the fact that RDU took 7 extra damage this game and Kaldi was still this far out of reach, this is remarkable.
Yeah, and man, Battle Rage is a good card.
It's all right. You know, at times it really gets the job done.
And try to pick up an extra Grim Patron here, and he's going to be able to if he wants to. Just, you know, keep chipping away at this armor here.
Yeah, RDU is actually 2 points off damage off lethal this turn.
He actually gets to make this Grim Patron if he wants to trade up into this Dr. Boom now.
Yeah, there's no recovering here from Kaldi. It would take an absolute miracle.
Yeah, the guys up in the left-hand corner, they're cheering for this turn. They liked it a lot.
It was an okay one. RDU, there's the one.
Suffer.
Kaldi's going to scoop this one up. We're going to head on to game number 2. But wow, what a recovery from RDU. I mean, this game, when that Archmage hit the board, I thought this might have been completely over.